What is up, everybody? I just want to give you a really quick video on water clarity and colors for your baits for bass, specifically soft plastics. I've been fishing a few different lakes lately. I always kind of switch from Kachuma, Keitech to Casitas, and the water clarity at all three of the lakes has been shifting because of the weather we've been getting. So for instance, Kachuma got a lot of rain a couple weeks ago right before I went. So part of the lake was really clear and most of the lake was really murky. Where all the bait was, it was very, very murky. So what does that mean for when you're choosing your colors? So when the water is clear, and in Southern California we have a lot of clear water reservoirs. If you're not getting any weather and it has not been raining, chances are the water is going to be clear. Typically spring it's clear if there's no weather, like I said, and then summertime we start to get the algae blooms, stuff like that, when the sun, gets out there and the biomass starts rising. We get a lot of algae blooms, so it can be very greenish. So we have like from clear to greenish to after storms and after rain and all that stuff, or if it's very, very windy, it knocks some of the soil loose off the banks and can get very, very murky. Or if you're just fishing in a spot that's very windblown or lots of boat traffic or whatever, it could also get very murky. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about water clarity and the colors of baits that you need. So when it is darker water, meaning it's you're fishing really deep, or the water clarity is only a few feet. And you can always tell if you drop your lure, your worm, whatever it is, next to the boat, you can just kind of count a couple of seconds until you can't see it. And so if the water is dirty or dark, you want darker colors. I know that sounds weird, but the darker colors stand out the deeper you go and the darker the water is. And by dark colors, I mean this was a favorite in Florida where most of the water is dark. Lots of ponds and stuff like that. The water is very tannic and very brown. So this was my go-to bait growing up in Florida. This is the culprit worm, and the color is tequila shad, but it's like a very dark, almost black on the back and kind of a reddish here. So the darker colors like black, blue, and the reds, they are going to show up, the dark reds, they're going to show up in the darker water better. So the reason is bass feed primarily with their eyes, a little bit with their lateral lines, and they feel the motions and stuff like that. They feel vibrations of bait going by and stuff like that. But most of the time, especially here in Southern California where the water is clearer, they're using their vision. They have unbelievable vision. I've told you this before. I had a bass in a fish tank. It was this big. He was in a giant 60-gallon fish tank, and he would track a tiny little bug from across the room. I would see this tiny little moth like this big across the room, and I mean, 30 feet across, and that bass would track it and start getting excited and see it. Amazing vision these fish have. They also recognize colors. Every time I got my little green net out to scoop up bait fish for him to eat, he'd see that net and start going crazy. So that just shows you the intelligence and the vision of these fish. These fish have great vision. That being said, if it's murky water or if these fish are down deep, you gotta try to get their attention with something. That's why a black or blue Senko, these darker colored purples and reds, like a dark green and brown for the Roboworm, things like that. Also, those are the things that are going to get attention. Those are the things that are going to get more bites. So when the water's clear, as most of the time here in California, these cold, deeper, clear water reservoirs, you want to fish with lighter colors, more natural looking colors. You guys know that one of my favorite baits is the Senko, and the green pumpkin sort of variation. I think this is actually baby bass, but the green pumpkin variation, the watermelon with red flakes, the flakes don't really matter to me, but watermelon, green pumpkin, baby bass, things like this are going to show up better in the clearer water, as well as grays and silvers, grays and silvers in the clear water. Again, green pumpkin type color. Same with the little brush hog here. And of course in the clear water I also, you know, throw whites. So that it's very simple. You know, the darker colors for darker water, including the blacks and blues and the reds, they seem to work really well. Like the bright reds, like if you're throwing a crankbait, the little craw bait, you know, the little bright red craws, they're fantastic in dark water. And clear water, you want to go lighter. And again, you know, in California, the lighter, more natural looking colors, they work like gangbusters. And that is it. It's very simple. Clear water, lighter colors, natural looking colors, darker water, dark colors, blacks, blues, reds, dark purples, all that stuff. And that is it. That is your water clarity video. Thank you so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe, like. I got a Patreon. Hit your notifications so you get notified every time a video drops. I'm about to drop another fishing video from KVD. I got more of these videos on the way. Thanks for watching, everybody. I'll see you tomorrow.